time I close my eyes, every time I close my time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, welcome in everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Big up to everyone being here. I do appreciate it. I know it's the Man United Barcelona game. There is football on today, so if anyone's here, I do appreciate you watching me. I really do. Yeah, I totally forgot there's football tonight. Yeah, I always forget about Europa League football. Always forget about Europa League football. Had this, but yeah, we need to do the preview for Liverpool Newcastle, guys. We need to do this preview. So big up to everyone in the house. Thank you very much for joining me today. I do appreciate it as always, guys. Don't forget, guys, hit the like button on your way in. Do me a solid. Hit that thumb right now, guys. Do appreciate it. And subscribe. You know the game now. You know the game, guys. Big up the dads, Chris, Jen, Gargle. How you doing? How you doing? Good. Everyone's doing good. Turan, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Gargoyle Blaster. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Bring on Tyler Morton. Said Jen. Bring on Tyler Morton, Bring on Tyler Morton. There you go. There's Tyler Morton right there. There we go. Well, how is everyone? I hope everyone's doing well. Sorry about yesterday. I was meant to do a watch long. Yes, I was on Jerry's show last night. Big up to Jerry. I think he's live right now. Big up to him. Yeah, I was on his show yesterday. Then I was meant to be doing my watch long straight after it, but something happened, unfortunately, which meant I couldn't do my watch long. So I do apologise. But I am back tonight, guys, with this preview for Liverpool versus Newcastle. I know everyone is doing good. Be up, Colin, in the house as well. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we've got a bit to talk about. Obviously, the Newcastle game we got Saturday, what it means for us. I think it's a big game for Liverpool Saturday. A big 3 points if we can beat Newcastle. You know, Obviously we've all been a bit excited, a bit happy since we beat Everton in the Merseyside derby. I think the mood has lifted a bit in the Liverpool fan base. It came crashing down again when you found out FSG don't want to sell the football club. But we'll talk about that later. Um, but yeah, I think everyone's in decent spirits. Everyone's in decent spirits with what's going on right now at the football club. So that's what we got to keep that happiness going, ain't we? We got to keep that happiness going. Now, Liverpool, rightly so, fans are a bit sceptical, and us fans should be as well. It's only one win. Plenty more of the season to go yet. But if we beat Newcastle on Saturday, what's everyone's gut feeling on top four? Right. So right now, for Liverpool to beat. If Liverpool beat Newcastle on Saturday, Liverpool will be 6 points behind. 6 points behind with a game in hand. So 6 points behind with a game in hand. How's everyone feeling on that? What's everyone's feeling going in after Saturday? Now, if we lose to Newcastle on Saturday, then we can forget about top four and all that. If we beat Newcastle on Saturday with the players coming back, we know Jota's back now. We know Bobby's back, and a few others as well. Virgil's back. Virgil will probably play Saturday. We're hearing today that Luis Diaz could be back in 2 weeks' time. He's out in the field, training a bit now. So he could be back in a couple of weeks. How do we feel going into that game Saturday? Let me know in the chat. Gargle, Jay, what's the song in the opening and closing segment of the stream? Oh, what the song? That is, let me tell you right now, it's ENS every time I close my eyes. ENS every time I close my eyes. Yeah, I found it ages ago. I found it ages ago, and I actually bought the copyright for it. So if anyone actually plays it, they have to pay me. Big up Jem in the super chat early on here. Big up you, Jen. Big up Jamie. Cannot wait for my Tyler Morton mug. If you want that, if you want that Tyler Morton mug, I will do you that Tyler Morton mug. Don't you worry. Big up Daz. How you doing, Jamie? Have you heard the latest? Liverpool Everton have been fined. What is it, over the scuffle at the end of the match? Still, there are fans that think that something very good will come. Nunes, I'm wondering why. Big up Chris, yeah, hopefully getting a feel-good factor back, Jamie, mate. A good win at Everton has lifted the club at least, as you say, players coming back. Yeah, exactly. Big up Paul, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. If we play the same passion we played against Everton, then we will get fourth. Yeah, this is the thing, guys. We got the win against Everton's done us a world of good. The win against Everton has done us the world good. We all feel a little bit better about ourselves. It was a decent, it weren't just a good win. It was a decent performance as well. It weren't sort of like a grab and smash kind of win. I thought it was a decent performance. I thought the midfield was. I think the midfield was a lot better. Controlled the game. Now I did say that before kickoff, if you remember rightly. In the watch along, I did say before kickoff that Liverpool might control this midfield. He played Fabinho and Stefan Bajcetic together, which worked out beautifully. It helped us control the game. We got around the pitch nicely. We stopped them attacking our defence. Stopped them getting in behind. Yeah, I thought we played a blinder against Newcastle in that midfield scenario. I really do. And then going forward from there, the forwards played their part as well. Darwin played his bit, Salah played his bit. I thought Gakpo was excellent on the day, dropping deep, playing the Bobby role in that false nine position. Yeah, I thought everyone just played their roles. Robbo and Trent were at their absolute best. I haven't seen Robbo and Trent play that well in quite a while. That was their best fullback display in quite some time for me. I thought that was an excellent fullback display by the two of them. Yeah, it was just a good performance. Obviously, you can get carried away. Some Liverpool fans might get carried away. I've seen some Liverpool YouTubers say, "Right, we're back now," and it's like, "Don't do it. It's cringe. Stop." We're not back. We're still ninth in the Premier League, but it's just that 3 points that it just makes you feel good, yeah. It makes you feel good. Now, if we beat Newcastle on Saturday, we're a big if because Newcastle are a decent side. They're fourth in the league. I think they've had 11 draws and one loss this season, and the one loss obviously come to us. So we got a chance to put a double over them. But they've drawn 11 games, and that's what I'm looking at with Newcastle right now. If Liverpool beat Newcastle on Saturday, a lot of momentum is going to be with Liverpool. Newcastle have drawn 11 games. There's a lot of the season still to go. You know, Newcastle are probably going to draw more games. If they keep drawing more games, they're going to drop points. Liverpool can keep going with the wins, then Liverpool will catch Newcastle. Look, there's a feel-good factor in the club at the moment because the players have come back. You can tell by Klopp's press conferences. Klopp's really happy with everything going on at the moment at the football club. He's happy. Bobby's back. Jota's back. He's happy. Diaz, he knows he's only 2 weeks away. Virgil is back. He'll probably play Saturday. So the boss is happy. The players will be happy. Going to work every day, going to training every day is probably a bit happier at the moment. It's just a feel good factor. And it was the performance as well. It was a decent performance. I saw some moments in that game of old Liverpool, especially on the counter attacks. Them counter attacks against Everton were lightning quick. That was old school Liverpool, that was. The lightning quick counter attacks. I think from Everton's chance from the corner where Tarkowski hit the post, Liverpool scored 15 seconds later. That's lightning quick, man. Lightning quick. 15 seconds later, after they hit the post, Liverpool go all the way up the other end and score. That takes some doing. That's old Liverpool. And then we saw it for the second goal with, Robbo's power and pace on the left-hand side, cutting through the middle. And the ball to Trent, and Trent with the ball, beautiful cross down low, back stick to Gakpo. Again, a smooth, quick, concise counter attack, which Liverpool are best at. I sometimes wonder if Liverpool should play counter attacking football more, instead of possession based football. I don't know how you guys in the chat feel about that, but we do have a lot of counter attacking footballers in our team. Look at Salah, Gakpo, Darwin, Robbo, Trent. They're all counter attacking footballers. They're best playing on the counter attack. And I sometimes wonder why we don't just give up a little bit more possession and play counter attacking football. And because I think we'd be excellent at it. The players we got in this team, we're too good to be where we are. I keep saying this. My thing on it is that the team are coming to the end of their cycle. Like a lot of the older players, but there's still a lot of quality in this side. There's still a lot of quality in this side. You can't tell me there ain't. You've got, Salah, Darwin, Gakpo. You got Bobby and Jota. You got Thiago when he's fit. You got Hendo. You got Allison. You got Virgil. You got Kanate, Gomez, Matip, Trent, Robbo, Stefan Bajcetic. Stefan Bajcetic. You got so much quality. There's so much quality around this team, and it's one of the things I've been arguing about all season. All season. That's why I've been saying that. As much as I love Jurgen Klopp, and I don't want him to leave them as a manager, he has been part of the issue this season. But it looks like Jurgen's getting his mojo back a bit. And his fight. That's what I want to see. I think the fight out of Jurgen went a little bit, guys. I don't know about you, but I think the fire and the fight just left Jurgen for a little bit. And you could tell that it affected the players at the same time. How good was it seeing like Jurgen doing his celebration at the Kop end, at the Kop end to the Liverpool fans, after a win. We ain't seen that in ages. That's what we need. Jurgen is such a a presence as a manager, as a coach. He's such a presence in our team that, when he's positive, the players feel positive. And when he's positive, I feel positive. That's why I said Liverpool would beat Everton 2-0. I said it the other day. I said it on Jerry's show the other day in the comments. I said, I've just seen Everton's team. I've seen our team. Jurgen looks super positive. The players look proper happy. I'm going 2-0 win. I'm going a 2-0 win. And it worked out because the players are happy because the manager was happy. He has that much presence on this football team. I do think that is an actual case. Now, obviously, Newcastle, as you guys are saying in the chat, are going to be a totally different opposition. They're in great form. They've only lost one game all season. That was to us. I believe they've had 11 draws. Them draws might cost them going for top four, them amount of draws might cost them eventually. That's a lot of draws in a season. That might actually cost them eventually. Newcastle might look back on that and think, right, if we only drew 8 games, lost one, and then won 2 or 3, they'd be far more clear in the league than they are now. But it's going to be a hard game. But the only thing I'll say, Newcastle got some problems with themselves at the moment. I think, have they not won 1 in 3 games or something? They're drawing games a lot. They had a difficult game against Bournemouth. And they have got the League Cup final next weekend. That is one thing we've got to remember. Newcastle do have a League Cup final next weekend. And that is going to be at the back of their minds. I mean, I know some of the Newcastle players today have come out and said that ain't the case. They're not thinking about that. But that can't be true, man. Look, these Newcastle players, this Newcastle team barely gets into cup finals. They haven't won a trophy since, what is it, the 50s or something like that? A proper major trophy since the 50s. This will be playing on their mind, guys. Don't get it wrong. This game will be playing on their mind. And Liverpool got to take advantage of that. They really do. And Eddie Howe, we might look to see it on Eddie Howe's lineup. All depending on how Eddie Howe lines up. We could see that being a case as well. But we're going to get more to it in a minute. We're going to chop a game up. We're going to talk about what players should play. We're going to predict the lineups, predict the result. We're also going to have a look at Newcastle's recent form as well. But yeah, let's just get to you guys in the chat. I hope you're all doing well. Guys, don't forget, please, if you're here and watching me right now, press that fun button, guys. Go and press that fun button. It don't take half a second to do. Just go and press the fun button. If you're watching on your phone, just go to the bottom of the video, hit that fun button. If you're on your computer, take your cursor over, hit that fun button, guys. I would really, really appreciate it. Big up to everyone in the house. Hope you're all doing well. Big up Egyptian King. Hope you're doing well, my man. Quantum Geek, Sky Sports saying Elon Musk is considering making a £4.5 billion offer for Man United. This Man United stuff ain't going away. I think they got ain't the deadline tomorrow. I believe the deadline for selling the football club is tomorrow, so we'll see. He was on the grass train today. Big up Jim to do with Diaz. Obviously, it's fake news. Trent's crossed the Gakpo as quality. It certainly was. Sky Sports usually a very reliable source, but not in this time. Yeah. Newcastle will prove themselves tough against Liverpool. Yeah, definitely will. Stefan Messi was brilliant, He was an excellent player. It's good to see Klopp get his mojo back. It is. That is one thing I will say. Klopp hasn't had his mojo, and we look a better team when Klopp, is feeling positive. When Jurgen's feeling positive, Liverpool are such a far much better team for it. As I keep saying, he's the face of the team. He's the face of the club right now, Jurgen Klopp. And when he's happy, the players are happy, and I'm happy. Let's face it. Nothing like seeing Jurgen celebrate in front of the fans. When was the last time we saw Jurgen giving that to the fans, at the end of the game? Excellent stuff. Newcastle will be up for the fight. They certainly will. Of course, Hendo and Fab had their pills. They certainly did. Evening, Aaron. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here, my friend. Remote control, Kent. How you doing? Newcastle will be a tough assessment away from home, but we can do them. That's what I want to hear. Big up, Michael. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well, Mike. Big up, Diego Costa 19. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. It'll be funny to do Newcastle again. They don't like us much. Yeah, I know. I think they don't like Jurgen, do they? And the Newcastle team don't really like Jurgen that much because of his comments about, ownership and things like that. But yeah, look, no one likes us. When you're a giant club, no one likes you. Let's face it. You know what I mean? Big up Imran. How you doing? Gakpo scored in his 7th game, just like Bergkamp. Him and Nunes will get better every game. I got good hope they are on the verge of firing. I agree, Imran. Big up to you, my friend. On the Qataris, I guess you're right, Egyptian King. Though you mean for the Musk option, yeah, Musk, yeah, I doubt he's got it. Fund me, fund me, fund me, fund me, fund me. Hit that like button, guys. Yeah, we've got to beat Newcastle. Got to beat Newcastle. Man United might actually get Bellingham. Yeah. Big up Lee, how you doing, mate? Hope doing well. Big up Ravi in the house as well. Man United goes 4.5 billion, then no way Liverpool will get 4 billion. Well, look, so all this ownership chaos, all right. My wife was talking to me about it today as well about the ownership stuff in yesterday, and everyone's talking about ownership at the moment. I'm really comfortable at the moment. I'm not too worried. I'm not panicked. I mean, what can we do at the end of the day? There's nothing much you can do. It may not get taken over. They get taken over. And, what can everyone do? I will say, though, one thing I will say is that, you remember when Spirit of Shankly did their statement about the whole takeover stuff, yeah? The Spirit of Shankly did their whole statement about the takeover stuff. And they said they were with Man United fans on it, weren't they? Like with the Man United fan trust panel as well against like state ownership. Well, they really pulled their covers over their eyes on that, didn't they? They really pulled their pants down on that because they're like, yeah, we were with you, and then Qataris come along and it's like, yeah, we've turned our back on that now. So, yeah, the Spirit of Shankly group got a bit egg on their face with that, in my opinion, and yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame for them. But look, what can you do? Liverpool are going to get taken over eventually, I would say. There's news today that, Liverpool, FSG only want to sell 49% of the club and keep 51% as a major share, right? And people are a bit pissed off by that. They want to sell 49% of the club for 2 billion, yeah? So they want to sell 49% of Liverpool for 2 billion. And a lot of people are saying that's greedy. Right, what I will say, right? What I will say on this, because I might be wrong, yeah. And if I am wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? There's nothing I could really do about it. But this hashtag FSG greed and stuff like that, and FSG greed, FSG are greedy, FSG are greedy. If you've got something that you own, guys, and you know its max value, right? You know its max value. Would you sell that under its max value? So, say Liverpool Football Club. So Forbes magazine has Liverpool at a commercial wealth of around 4 to 4.5 billion US dollars. Yeah. So say 4.5 billion US dollars. So it's about £4 billion. Yeah. So Forbes magazine has Liverpool's commercial revenue as a football club to be valued around 4 billion English pounds. Right. Why would, and you know how much money the club make, yeah? We make a lot of money as a football club, year in, year out, right? Why would you then sell for such a low price? That makes no sense. I don't care. Look, people might not like FSG. I don't like FSG right now. I keep saying they need to go, right? But why would they sell at 2.5 billion if they know the club is worth far more than that? It's not greedy. It's just, what would anyone else? This is why I don't. Us fans, because we're fans, right? Fans are sentimental. We would say, oh, if I owned Liverpool Football Club, like if that was me, I'd sell Liverpool straight away for like 2 billion because I know I can't afford to stay there because it's my club and I love them. No, you wouldn't. No one would. And like people say, I'd play for free. No, you wouldn't. No one would. Are you telling me you'd go to work every single day because you're a stone cold Liverpool fan? Yeah, you go to work every day, and you got everyone else turning up in their Lambos, their Range Rovers, their Porsches, and you turn up in your full Fiesta because you work for free, and not be like, maybe I should have taken that back. You know what I mean? We're sentimental as fans. We are sentimental as fans. There's no bad in it. There's no bad in it. No bad in it. It's just, but you got to be realistic. They got something that's worth £4 billion, right? Forbes magazine puts it at £4 billion. I would say it's probably around right. The revenue of Liverpool Football Club, the size of Liverpool Football Club. You put everything into what a brand is and how much a brand is. Liverpool's worldwide revenue and the size of the club, and it's got to be around that much money. It's got to be around that much money. So why would you take less? It makes no sense to me. And this is not me sticking up for them. I just don't understand the greed part of it. When people say, "Oh, just sell the club for 2 billion," why? You only bought it for 300 million. You only bought the club for 300 million. You've made a massive profit. Just take 2 billion. What? Why would you? If it's worth 4 billion, why would you take 50% off the total? You know what I mean? That would be madness. That don't make sense to me. Don't make sense to me. But I understand why people are pissed. I understand why people are pissed. There's no doubt about it. Look, they don't love the club. Of course they don't love it. I've never understood this thing as well. There are American owners that knew nothing about football. Nothing about football, yeah? They didn't come from a football background. They come from a baseball background, yeah? Why would they love Liverpool Football Club? You can care about something, and I think they do care about the well-being of the football club. There's no doubt about that. We can't say they don't care about the well-being of the football club because it is run well behind the scenes. So the well-being of the football club is cared about. But why should they love the club? Why? They're money men at the end of the day. They love money. They love money. Why would they care about us, a little city in the northwest of a little country of England? What? What? Why would they care? Again, we're fans. We bleed Liverpool. We love Liverpool. We got family. We got probably husbands, wives, kids, grandkids, whatever. But I bet you everyone, especially in the chat, everyone listening, Liverpool Football Club is so close to their second love. You got your family, Liverpool Football Club. That's all that matters in your life. Your family and Liverpool. Your family and Liverpool. Nothing else matters in your life, right? I take it that's from the same as me and the same to all you guys in the chat as well, right? But for them, that's not the case. That's not the case. They're not going to be fans. They don't care. They're money men. They're making a profit. They're making money from owning a football club. Do I want them to go? Yes, they need to go because we need serious investment. But, I just don't get the old... you see what happens when fans of clubs own them before and it goes shit up. It doesn't always work out. It doesn't always work out because look at Simon Jordan with Crystal Palace. Couldn't succeed there, had to sell it, he went bankrupt. It don't always work out, being a fan and owning a football club. I don't think you can have loyalty if you're an owner or a manager. I don't think you can have any loyalty. I think you've got to go in it like, right, I want to make this thing I'm taking over now the biggest and best that I can possibly make it with the resources I have available. And FSG probably feel like they've done that. You know, with the resources they have available and where Liverpool Football Club were, FSG probably feel like they've done their job. They did bring them back, you know. And look, at the end of the day, if Man City do get found guilty of everything they've done, I believe FSG have won 4 Premier League titles if they get all their titles back. You know what I mean? So they need to go now because they can't do enough. But I understand what everyone's saying as well. I do get it. I understand what everyone's saying as well. So big up everyone in the chat as well. Let's get to some of your chats here. As an American, that is true. Big up your Seer. John Henry on the Mr. Krabs vibes and SpongeBob. Yeah, he is. He just cares about the money, you know. I was saying like a broken record, but the club will be sold in summer, I reckon, and even if it isn't FSG, we'll spend the money to rebuild. I think we will spend money more than people think. The thing is, if they want maximum amount of the club, then the time is now because unfortunately the price will go. Exactly, Michael, and that I agree with. If they want the maximum sale of this football club, they have to sell now. Now, I don't know if anyone saw the quotes today. Is it Martin Broughtman? He apparently spoke to Tom Werner the other day about his consortium buying Liverpool Football Club, and he actually asked Tom Werner if Liverpool are up for sale or it's just a minority share, and what are they after? And Tom Werner put, well, if you give us a big enough number that matches what we're thinking, the club will be sold. So we don't know what that number is. Now, if FSG are asking for too much money, then I will be on part of this greed thing. If FSG are asking more money than the club is valued at, then they are being greedy. If FSG are just asking for the money they believe the club is valued at, then that's fine with that. If they're asking for the 3 to 4 billion, which the club is probably valued at, then they should take it. If they think the club is worth more than that, then they're just being greedy fuckers. And you know, that's when I agree with everyone. That's when I agree with absolutely everyone else. If they're asking for more money than the club is worth, I agree with everyone. I do. Big up, Philip. How you doing, mate? If FSG sold us for 10% less than what it's worth, that's okay. But 25% or more less than it's worth is stupid, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Big up, Knightley. How you doing, mate? I'm doing good. We do need a new centre back. Big up, Mac. Raging Pot. How you doing, mate? Even Jamie. Is it what have I missed so far? Any good points? Just what we're talking about now. Really, just what we're talking about now. We're just getting everyone in the house. As I say, I know it's a match day today. I do appreciate people here. Jamie, thoughts on last night's Premier League game? Great game of football. Man City deserved the win. I thought Man City were a better team. Arsenal are like I said, guys. Arsenal are a good-looking side. They're good on the eye, but they've got nothing up top. You know, they're good on the eye, but they've got nothing up top. Eddie Nketiah is a decent player for if you need him for about 5 games. Anything more than that, anything long-term, you're going to struggle with Eddie Nketiah as your striker. But for 5 games, in that little brief period of 1 to 5 games, coming in, being the main man, is perfect. Anything more than that long-term, you're going to be in trouble. I keep saying this about Martinelli as well. I keep bashing on about Martinelli a lot. I think he's great on the eye. Don't get me wrong. Great dribbler, great pace. He's not effective enough, though. What does he do? I keep asking this about Martinelli and no one ever answers me. What does Martinelli do? Because I see what Saka does. I just don't see what Martinelli does. I really don't. I think Martinelli sometimes holds the ball for too long as well. I think Martinelli's not got to a stage yet when he knows where to release the ball. You know, I think sometimes he either holds on to it too long or he doesn't hold on to it long enough. You know, he's at the stage of that in his career at the moment. Look, he's a young boy as well. He's got plenty of time to improve and get better and better and better and better. But I think Arsenal have put a lot on their young shoulders to try and win a Premier League against this Man City side. You know, you look at Martinelli and you look at Saka, they're young boys, still a lot of growth and a lot to learn about the game. And I think Arsenal have put a lot too much on their shoulders. And for me right now, Arsenal look tired. and they look like they're running out of ideas a bit. Odegaard hasn't looked the same player for me in recent games. He looks a bit out of it, out of sorts. I didn't even know he was playing yesterday. He barely touched the ball. He barely did anything of significance. And he's been excellent this season, one of the players of the year. I just think Arsenal are running out of steam a little bit and running out of ideas and momentum. Is that no winning 4 games now for Arsenal? So before the January transfer window, I believe Arsenal had like a 7-point lead. And now they're on level points with Man City very quickly. Then points get snapped up like that against Manchester City. I think Arsenal missed a trick in the January transfer window. I know Arsenal were after Enzo Fernandez and was it Mudryk and players like that. I don't get why they were going for them. They should have got a striker. They should have got a striker. And I don't think Gabriel Jesus is back till next month. By that time, they could be out the title race. I think Arsenal missed a massive trick not getting a striker. I really do. Especially watching the last few. I've been saying it for a while as well. Big up to Gunnar Lee as well. Big up to Gunnar Lee. I mean, I said to him as well. The one thing Liverpool, I think Arsenal got to stop them winning the league is a killer up top. You see them 2 chances ready in Ketty yesterday. One of them needs to go in, man. One of them needs to go in. But look, Arsenal have done great this season. Arsenal could do themselves proud. They really shouldn't be in a title race. Let's be fair. You look at Arsenal's 11, and they really shouldn't be in a title race. But they've done well to be in one. So big up to them for it. Big up, man, like Jay. How you doing? The thing with FSG, they treat us like an American sports team. Yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem. Man City are shit at the back and they can't defend. City's defending's all over the place at the moment. Faster Curtis Jones. Big up, my friend. How you doing? Yeah, Arsenal made a lot of errors. Arsenal are weak at the back as well. But Arsenal ain't got a big squad. I was looking at the benches yesterday as well. Arsenal haven't really got a big squad. And I think that might come into effect as well. You see City's bench compared to Arsenal's. Even Arsenal's bench compared to ours against Everton is nowhere near. Arsenal's bench is a bit weak. And relying on someone like Eddie Nketiah, I think, is a very good footballer. He's a good player, but he's not a long-term replacement. He's that sort of player that comes in for 1 to 5 games, looks decent, looks good. Everyone starts talking about him. And then as the games go on and the longevity goes on when he's still in the team, you're like, now I see the problem. Do you know what I mean? I think as fans, people are too quick to go on. When Eddie Nketiah came into the Arsenal team when Jesus got injured and started scoring goals, everyone's like, oh, why did we buy Eddie Nketiah instead of like a Darwin Núñez and all that? And it's like, what are you on about? Recency stuff. Yeah, he's good over a few games. Give it longevity. He's not good enough. Don't see FSG selling a club anytime soon. Turner himself said there's no rush to sell, so we'll go have him for a while. I agree. I still think we can be better next season, even with FSG at the helm. Arsenal away to Villa Saturday early kickoff. Yeah, that's going to be a big game for Arsenal. Huge game. They have to win that. Yeah, Michael, that's good comparison. Good comparison. Big up Bear in the house. How you doing? Man City using Premier League cheat allegations. Extra motivation to win the Premier League. Yeah. If the midfield performs like that at Newcastle for the rest of the season until Alcantara comes back, should Klopp start him? Yeah, the Thiago thing. Big up, Pat, man. How you doing, mate? Watch game yesterday for Arsenal fans. I bet you enjoyed that, my friend. I bet you enjoyed that. As long as we get good investment, I'll be happy, Jamie, so Klopp can get to yeah, that's all we care about, man. Investment. That's all I want in this football club. This club needs investment, man. So the news is Liverpool trying to sell 49% of Liverpool for $2 billion. Yeah. So that tells you how much they value Liverpool at. So they value Liverpool over £4 billion. So FSG value Liverpool at £4 billion. Forbes magazine rates Liverpool around the £4 billion bracket as well. So the valuation is pretty much spot on. Now, if someone comes in for $4 billion for Liverpool Football Club, get a sell. I don't know if you guys heard the news. So Tottenham Hotspur are in the news yesterday, weren't they? So there's someone who apparently wants to buy Tottenham, right? Is it Joe Lewis who owns Tottenham? he has said that Tottenham are worth 3.5 billion. Right? He wants 3.5 billion to sell Tottenham Hotspur, and people think FSG are being greedy at 4 billion. Do you know what I mean? You know, everyone thinks FSG are being greedy, asking for 4 billion for Liverpool, which is a massive franchise in the world of sport, and is probably worth around that. But Joe Lewis, who owns, I think it's Joe Lewis who owns Tottenham, want 3.5 billion for Tottenham. Who ain't one? Who's got what, a League Cup in the last 20 years? They want 3.5 billion. Fuck that. Yeah, I did. It was hilarious. I got to say, I like that CBS Champions League show is so much better than anything on BT Sport, ain't it? That CBS Champions League show with Kate Abdul, Mika Richards, Thierry Henry, and Jamie Carragher is blinding. They have so much fun. I wish we could have that. Big up James. How you doing? If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't want a minority. I'd want full control unless they eventually. I think that's what will happen. The only way you sell a minority share is because at the end of the day, that person's going to end up owning your football club. That is going to be the thing that's going to have to happen. So if someone comes in with a deep enough pockets and takes a 49% of a football club, you know, over a year or two, they can afford to buy the extra 2% from John Henry and own the majority of the club. I believe Arsenal did that with the was it the Cronkies that came in? I believe they had the less share, and then they bought more shares through the years, didn't they? And eventually they got the whole club, and then you see how much Arsenal's spending now. So it might be similar to that. It might be similar to that, where someone comes in, actually buys 49% of the football club, and also you got to remember, you know, Chelsea Football Club. So Todd Bowley has got investors in Chelsea, yeah, because Roman Abramovich left no debt at Chelsea. There's zero debt at Chelsea Football Club, and because he didn't ask for the money back from Chelsea either, there's zero debt at Chelsea Football Club. So Todd Bowley and his investors came in and were able to spend so much money. You got to remember, this ain't all what Todd Bowley's spending at Chelsea. He has investors in the football club. There was a consortium with Todd Bowley that bought Chelsea Football Club, and maybe that's what. So investors will come in and spend money. They just will, but they want success and they want something back for their money as well. So I can't see it being a problem. I can't see it being a problem if someone comes in deep enough pockets. The problem is they're going to come in and have 49% of the football club, which is a massive stake. They're going to come in. The problem is they don't want to come in and go, right, John W. Henry just sits back and goes, right, you guys invest the money into transfers and then we take all the 51% of the money. Do you know what I mean? That's what they got to work out. That's the dodgy side of it all. But you can get investors in. You can do something. There. I think Liverpool got investors lined up for the summer transfer window, personally. There's too much stuff coming out the club right now from big reporters who wouldn't usually report on this sort of thing about how much Liverpool guys spend in the summer, how much money they actually got, how much money they can use. You know, there's too much coming. There's too much coming out about it right now. So yeah, I think Liverpool got some investors lined up already to spend money in the summer. I really do, because there's too much coming out. You know, people. There's a lot of like big journalists out there are coming out and saying things now. You know, Liverpool got this, Liverpool got that. They got to do this, they got to do that. You know, they wouldn't usually do that if they didn't know something already. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some investors lined up already. I think Redburn own 11%, Colin. I might be wrong there, but I think they own 11% of Liverpool. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. Hopefully they do something in the summer. They have to. You know, I do think we're going to have a big summer. I really do. I've been saying it for a while now. I think we'll go have a big summer. It might shock a lot of people what we do this summer, but let's wait till then. Let's just worry about Newcastle right now, guys, on Saturday. So I'm going to read some stuff out. It's from Liverpool. Where is it? Where's my stuff gone? There we go. So there's some rumours and that going around before we get to this Newcastle game. Let's just read the rumours circling around Liverpool on social media and in the news and in the mainstream media right now. So Liverpool forward Luis Diaz continued his rehab on a long-term knee injury as he was pictured on the grass at Club AXA Training Centre on Thursday afternoon. It's a beautiful thing to see. The Colombian has not featured for the Reds since he withdrew in the first half of a 3-2 defeat at Arsenal all the way back in the 9th of October. Diaz was part of Liverpool's mid-season training camp in Dubai, but quickly sent back to the United Kingdom after further surgery after suffering substantial setback. While Jurgen Klopp has remained coy on the time frame for Diaz's return to action, the 26-year-old was named in Liverpool's Champions League squad for the knockout stages earlier this month and is therefore hoping to be fit for the second leg against Real Madrid on March the 15th, which is 4 weeks away. On Thursday, Diaz took a sizable step towards his landmark as he was pictured running around the perimeter of the Kirby Training Centre while the rest of his teammates continued their preparations for Saturday's trip to St James's. It's the first time as the former Porto star has been pictured outdoors since initially taking part in sessions in NAS Sports Complex in December. So yeah, some decent footage. See if I can get this up for you guys. Hang on. Where's all my shit gone? Don't know where that went there. It disappeared on me. Liverpool needs a few centimetres centre back. Yeah, we need a lot of players. I don't want to invest in a car. I want FSG to sell 100%. Yeah, look, they will sell eventually, guys. They will sell eventually. I wouldn't get too worried and put down by it all so far. I wouldn't get too worried about it. Yesterday there was a report that Liverpool will have an 85 million transfer budget for this summer. So that's an 85 just on its own. Then you got sales and players leaving on frees. Will take it over 100 odd million. Abramovich wanted Spurs before he bought Chelsea. That is correct. I've read that one. What else we got here? Ride shotgun. Big up to you. I believe we are done. These owners have always claimed to have money to spend every summer. I'm sorry, Jamie. This is pure lies from the club. It depends what you think by spending. It depends what you mean by spending, guys. So, Liverpool can spend in different kinds of ways, can't they? It all depends what you mean by spending, guys. Like FSG putting their hands in their own pockets, probably not. That is one thing we do complain about with FSG, that they don't do that nearly enough. Put their hands in their own pockets. I agree with you there. They don't do that nearly enough. Oh, sorry, my video went a bit off there. Yeah, they don't do that nearly enough. They don't put their hands in their pockets nearly enough. I agree there. But it all depends what we mean by spending. Look, I'm sure we're going to let some players go this summer. So free up some players. There's going to be some money there from that. There's going to be sales. Don't forget the players leaving on frees and people coming out of contracts and leaving. That money comes off the wage bill, which can then get transferred into the transfer kitty. So there's ways of spending money. But what I do agree with everybody, there's no way FSG are going to give out the money themselves. I agree with all that. I definitely agree with all that. The only one I think, Mateus Nunes and maybe Sanderberg or Mason Mount only. I think Yeah, Mateus Nunes one. I've been saying it for a while. Liverpool just get Jude Bellingham and Mateus Nunes. Plus, you got Stefan by Setic there now. Hendo, Thiago. That's the 5 probably. You need a couple more. The problem is what we need can't be done in one transfer. What we need is more. It can't be done in one transfer window. This is the problem. Because the owners we got, we can't do everything in one transfer window. It'll take more and it'll take time. Got Tyler Morton coming back. That's that as well. You just can't, we know our owners, guys. This is why I'm not getting too upset and concerned about it, because we know who owns our football club. So I don't get why everyone getting too angry and too upset about it. It's not like we don't know who owns our football club. This all won't be done in one transfer window, guys, unless they do sell the club and someone comes in and takes over the football club and we're happy and they give Klopp 300 million that summer out of their own pocket. Plus, there's more if you sell players. Then probably get it all done in one transfer window. Other than that, it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. But with the Jude Bellingham stuff's a funny one to me. Part of me thinks Jude Bellingham might stay at Borussia Dortmund next season. Part of me thinks Jude Bellingham might stay at Borussia Dortmund next season. Because why would he be in a rush? What is he, 20 years old? 19, 20? Is he 19, ain't he? Why would he be in a rush? Literally, why would he be in a rush to leave Borussia Dortmund right now? He's the club captain, playing Champions League football. They just beat Chelsea. And talk about Enzo Fernandez versus Bellingham. I thought Bellingham outclassed Enzo Fernandez. Watching the highlights back from yesterday's game. So if he does, look, the thing with Jude Bellingham, I think he either goes to Liverpool or stays at Dortmund for another year. That's what I think will happen with Jude Bellingham. I think he either goes to Liverpool or he stays at Borussia Dortmund till the following year. I think it's one or the other. I think it's one or the other. Yeah, I think he will be as Chris as well. I think he will be, but it wouldn't shock me if Jude goes, you know what, I'm going to stay at Borussia Dortmund for another year and then do a deal with Liverpool the following season. I believe that'd be the case as well. I think that'll be the case as well. I think Everton will give us 100 million in the summer, and other budgets will be from player sales. I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just get him there. 1-0 Barca. The thing with FSG, they do things out of the blue that nobody knows anything about. That's how they do things. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. They don't like the world knowing their stuff, do they? So that's why I'm always calm and cool about it. I'm not going to get upset about ownership, who owns the football club, what's going on at the football club. I'm not going to get upset by it all, guys. There's no point. There's just no point in getting upset about it right now. We got Trap. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I think Liverpool paid just over 100 million for Bellingham, and he'll be happy with that because about football pictures. I fervently hope that mostly believe that Klopp has innumerable target. Yeah. 1-0 Barca, big up Barca. Yeah, I think Liverpool will do quite well in the summer. Let's just wait till then. You got to remember, we spent 100 million this summer as well, so we'll probably go again. We just spent money in the wrong areas of the pitch. That's all. Probably just spent money in the wrong areas of the pitch. So we got the news about one Luis Diaz back in the start. Well, coming soon. Chelsea plot Mason Mount exchange for Joe Felix. So Chelsea apparently are said to be weighing up Mason Mount's part exchange for Joe Felix on a permanent deal. Now, according to Marca, this is that they think Atletico Madrid will take Mason Mount and cash for Joe Felix now. Who knows? This is news that might surprise people. So Tottenham, excuse me, guys. Tottenham are trying to buy Naby Keita. I don't know if you guys have heard this. So not Tottenham are favourites right now as it stands. Tottenham Hotspur are favourites to buy Naby Keita in the summer for free. I don't know if people knew that, but yeah, right now reports are coming out today that Tottenham Hotspur want Naby Keita for free in the summer, and Naby Keita prefers to stay in the Premier League. So it's 1-1 now. Big up. Come on, what a game over there. I think it's a mad one. But yeah, Tottenham are eyeing up Naby Keita for the summer. Yeah, Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona bottlers. The thing of Barcelona, I think Barcelona are going to be deducted points in their league as well because of they bribed the referee, didn't they? Allegedly. What else news we got here? So Tottenham are eyeing up a Keita deal. So former Arsenal England striker Ian Wright has hailed Darwin Núñez' sensational recent form at Liverpool and revealed he is desperate for the forward to find the back of the net on a regular basis. And the former turned pundit, but the former footballer turned pundit believes the Uruguayan all encompassing display against Everton on Monday. Merseyside derby proves that it's only a matter of time before his luck changes. Since making the move from Benfica to Anfield, initial fee of 64 million back in June, Núñez has scored 10 goals in 27 appearances for the Reds. That has been a collective season of struggle for all within Jurgen Klopp's side. However, the 23-year-old has found himself on the receiving end of somewhat unjust criticism following the red card against Palace and expected troubles in front of goal. Núñez' last Premier League goal came for the Reds, came over 3 months ago when he fired a brace against a 3-1 victory against Southampton on November the 12th, and he's yet to recover the pre-World Cup form during this half of the campaign. But Ian Wright, back in Darwin Núñez, boy. So that's all the news I've got for you today. There are part of one more transfer. And so former Tottenham defender Yang Vertonghen has heaped praise on former teammate Antonio Silva following numerous murmurs of a summer move to Anfield. Vertonghen joined the Lisbon outfit after leaving Spurs in 2020. Briefly played with Silva before departing in favour of return to his homeland at Anderlecht in September. Speaking to the record, Vertonghen delivered a glowing assessment of Silva, who has been touted for a move in the summer. So that's one to keep your eye on, guys. Antonio Silva to Liverpool. And this is one people might have been reading so far. And apparently Liverpool sent scouts to Portugal for Liverpool have reportedly been watching Sporting Lisbon defender Goncalo Goncalo Inachao, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and could make a move for the defender before the end of the season in order to fend off interest from other European clubs. Yeah, he's a 21-year-old. He's got a price tag of £40 million. And apparently Liverpool sent a scout over last week, I believe, to go and watch Goncalo Inachao I can't pronounce his name. In order to make a move for the defender. There's an interesting one. Sporting Lisbon centre back. We know we're after a defender. We desperately need a centre back. So yeah, it's interesting ones. Interesting ones. Frankly, how you doing? Did you see the quotes from FSG CEO Sam Kennedy? I have not. You can put them in the chat, though. Anything you want to put in the chat, put in the chat. Tony Silver is better. Yeah, that's it. Maxwell's got it right there. Yeah, so Liverpool apparently very interested in that player. Nebby's realised that Prem doesn't prefer him. That's a great quote. Great news to right. Right, let's bring G in the house. There he is. Let's bring G in. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, and I'm all good, man. Literally just jumped off the Jerry James show as we speak, man. We tell him, mate, how we doing?
Yeah, doing good. Big doing good. Big up the cherry. Show good.
Yeah, little something new, like a Q&A show. So just thought we do
Nice.
something a little different today.
Yeah,
Let's grab into it. Let's get into it today.
Yeah, we're just talking about some Liverpool news before we go into this Newcastle game just now. I was talking about Tottenham, our favourites are by Navigator.
Oh,
On
fantastic.
a free in a free in the summer. Apparently, Tottenham are eyeing him up. They really they think he's a player they need.
Okay.
It's a weird one. When I look at Tottenham's midfield, you know, Bentancur's their best midfielder with Højbjerg, and then Basuma's just not worked for him yet, has he?
No.
You know, you got Skip there, and is it the young guy Sarr played the other night as well?
Yeah.
Maybe they need something like. I mean, Keita is a decent footballer. If he stays fit, could do something. It could be actually a good signing for Spurs if he stays fit. To be fair, especially under Antonio Conte, the way they play. Yeah, it could be a good bit of business. So, wouldn't shock me. Apparently, Keita prefers to stay in the Premier League, which, with his injury record, does surprise me there. But yeah, that's and then Liverpool are lining up a centre back target. Sporting's Libson midfielder Giancarlo in a cow. I think he's pronounced in a chow, something like that.
Who's he play for? Sporting
Lisbon. Yeah, he's 21.
Oh, Inacio. Yeah, I think
Inacio. That's it. Yeah, that's it. He's valued at 40 million. Apparently, Liverpool have been sending scouts over there last week to watch his games. So apparently, Liverpool are very, very into him. And we've been saying we need a defender. So that is at least Liverpool actually looking for a defender, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I think he's a depends what because I like, for example, like you got Andre Silva at bloody Benfica, but he's probably more of a starting centre back. Like I don't feel like he's gonna come to Liverpool to sit on the bench unless we move to like a back three, for example, which I don't see us probably doing. So no, but he's good though. He's good. And I don't think his injury record is bad. I feel like that's going to be a key thing in the summer with any deal that we do try and get is, are they injury prone? No? Okay, well, let's start off there and we can move with their abilities afterwards, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, at least Liverpool are looking at a defender. I mean, that's a good thing. They know they need a defender long term, so I'm happy about that. They're looking for something. Big up, Dan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, exactly. Hope you're doing well. My kid downstairs is Man United winning now. They're 1-0 down a minute ago.
Listen, man, and they're playing and Barcelona are kind of good this season as well, so I'm quite surprised that United are winning. But
they're going to get points deducted, apparently, aren't they?
Yeah, I see the whole corruption thing. I said, if it's not Barca, it's Juve, it's Man City. Fucking hell.
Corrupt mothers. Apparently, allegedly bribing a referee. I mean, that's also a legal matter as well that the police might have to get involved.
But this is what I'm saying. Like a lot of these clubs, like they're doing some real shit. Like, and it always seems to be like, I don't want to sound rude or I don't really know what the word is. I just don't want to sound like I'm being rude, but like it's always seeming to be like the Italian clubs or like the Spanish clubs, like who would do stuff like that, where they'll do things where you're bribing an official. Like, do you understand what that means? Like you're going above and beyond just money laundering now. Like, like obviously Man City, what they're doing is bad, but you guys are bribing officials, man. I feel like that's 10 times worse. So
it's a legal matter, man. If it
is exactly.
Obviously,
police get involved
now. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's Jamie's kid wants Bellingham. Yeah, he's also FSG out. I think he's also he's had enough. Right, let's talk about Newcastle. So obviously we had a nice win on Monday night. Nice win against the Ev. Played some decent football as well for a change. Obviously the mood around the club lifted a little bit. I think we all need that. A good win against your Merseyside rivals. Yeah, after the game, you can look back at it and go, right, it's a game we should win. You look at us, Everton's 11. You look at our 11. We're at Anfield. They're fighting relegation. You look back at it, it's a game we should have won. But then you got to put everything in context as well. Liverpool shit.
Mm.
And,
Mhm.
you know, we're in a
Right.
bad spot. It's not like Liverpool of old where we're fighting City and going 2-0 and Everton just a distraction. It's not
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
not like that at the
literally a
moment.
distraction.
It's not like that at the moment. And yeah, they might be in fighting relegation, but they had a good result against Arsenal a few days before, the week before. And
Mm.
it was a good performance all around for a team. Look, we're struggling. We can't sit here and
Mm.
pretend that anything at the moment. I've always been saying it. Liverpool just need to pick points up. I don't care how we do it towards
Mm.
the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just pick points up. I don't care if it's grab and
Mm.
smash and grab. I don't care if we got lucky. VAR's on our side. I don't care. All I want, G, is 3 points every game.
Yeah.
I don't care how we played. But considering there was a bit of a decent performance there and some standouts from some players, don't know about you, G. I just feel a little bit better about myself right now. I think that's fair enough to say.
Yeah, no, we needed it, man. It's as everything you said, 100%, man. It's too doom and gloom, and I think we have too many negative points that we talk about with Liverpool recently as well, especially like with everything that's going on, the club, the form on the pitch, the FSG stuff. Like there's too much. So you at least need the team to just win. At least then we can, you know what I mean, it's not as bad as it probably is, you know, in reality. So yeah, now we needed a win. As you said, man, it's Merseyside rivals, regardless of what's happening, it's still something that's just gonna lift the mood a little bit. Thought the performance was decent as well. Again, yeah, like it was actually a decent performance, especially from like specific players and stuff like that. Yeah, going into the Newcastle game, it's going to be very interesting to see how we go into this in terms of Newcastle haven't really been doing that great recently. And then they've got the Carabao Cup final coming up. Maybe they've got one eye on that. Does that give Liverpool the edge to then say, you know what, we can catch them off guard here? Do you know what I mean? Because maybe if it was like middle of the season, maybe you don't win and stuff like that. But now, Liverpool coming off the back of a win, clean sheet. Do they just go into this game where it's almost like we sneak it, like we sneak a win and we move off? Do you know what I mean? I feel like that could potentially happen. Potentially, Newcastle will be
Get
tough.
the league table. Yeah, I'll definitely. It's going to be a totally different game, no doubt. But let me just get this league table up because Newcastle's form recently, no, isn't the right. So
Don't
there
go too
they
much,
are.
Jamie. We can't find Liverpool anymore. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. That's how bad it is right now. So there's Newcastle right there, sitting fourth. In their last 5 games, they've drawn 4 and won 1. Now they have had 11 draws this season, 10 wins, 1 loss. They've scored 35 goals, conceded 13. So they've done.
They've got more draws than
well.
wins.
They've had 11 draws. Now Liverpool obviously are 9th. If we win. So let's go. Right, let's do it. Because I'm not getting carried away after the Everton game, but I think Liverpool fans might just feel a bit, not get carried away, but if we beat Newcastle Saturday, top 4 ain't out of the question. Newcastle's form with draws, you know, they've already drawn 11 games. They've played 22 matches. You know, they've got, 17 games left. They're 16 games left, ain't it? Or 15 games, something like that. They're going to draw more
16,
games. Yeah, they're going to draw more games. They're probably going to draw more games. There's going to be more games drawn there, which means they're going to drop points. Tottenham are the confusing ones there. You know, they've lost 8 games there, Spurs. I mean, even more than us than I thought we were bad. You know, you don't know what's going to happen with Spurs. Brighton and Fulham, you think they will plateau as the season goes on towards the end. They will start to plateau a little bit, but deserves where they are at the moment, right? And Brentford as well.
They're playing each other next anyway. Oh,
yeah. So there's going to be something there. So then you got Liverpool and Chelsea, and I think they'll be looking at, not thinking this is dead in the water just yet. Now, Liverpool beat Newcastle Saturday. They'll be 6 points behind with a game in hand. It starts to get a little bit tasty from then. Now, Liverpool at this moment in time they feel a bit better about themselves. You've got, you know, Jota's back, Bobby's back, Virgil's back. I think Virgil's a massive one to be back because that defense has been so bozo lately, and Virgil coming back just puts a shine on it all at the back a little bit, don't it? We've heard today that Kanate is going to be out for more weeks yet. Apparently, I thought he'd be back by now, but apparently he's going to be out for more weeks.
Of course.
So we need Virgil there. I think the players. I don't know about you, G, but it looks like the players have just got a little bit of a lift as well. Seeing the boys come back. So going into Saturday, how do you see it? Because, as I say, Newcastle have drawn their last 4 out of their 5 games. We just come off a good win against Everton. We've got our players coming back. How do you see the game going down on Saturday?
I think it'll be a draw or win to us. I don't see Newcastle winning because I feel like they're like us. They're finding it kind of hard to score. But we're also finding it hard to break teams down. But I do think they'll be resolute. And I mean, look, they're going to be up for the game regardless. At the end of the day, playing against Liverpool, coming up to St. James's Park, crowd will be on, their backs and stuff like that. They're going to be against us. So there is a lot that probably goes into it. Our away record is quite poor. So when you take all of that into consideration, then you're like, But it's because they've got that cup final. I don't know what type of team he's going to put out. Their minds are listen. This is their first cup final since bloody I don't even know when. So the players naturally will start thinking about that. Is he going to drop some players? And again, as you say, we came off the back of the win against Everton. Depends on what team he obviously puts out. Because I feel like he's going to want to go same team, but with Van Dijk in there. And I don't think that's the right approach. I feel like he has to drop Fab or Hendo, if not both. Don't really know who, but you just need to drop one of them, if not both of them. Just because I feel like it's going to be a different type of game in there. I'm going to go draw. I feel like a draw would probably be the result, I think. But that's not a bad result against a team who are sitting 4th and playing well this season. Though.
Yeah,
and it just keeps us going, if that makes sense. We've out of our last 5 games, we've lost 2 on the bounce, then drawn, then lost, and we only won the other day. So it's like, we need to get into like a rhythm of just not losing games. Once you get that eradicated, the wins will just come naturally.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just want to bring something up while I got this league table up here because I saw this the other day. I saw this online today. Sorry. So that is the league when Liverpool won the Premier League after 26 games. Liverpool on 76 points, Man City on 51, Leicester on 50. Right. After 26 games, yeah? Right? And Leicester on 50 there. Arsenal are on 51 points after 22 games. Now, I've been saying this. I've been saying this all season, and it's not just because people keep saying it. You're only saying this because Liverpool and Chelsea are crap this year. And it's not the reason I'm saying this. I think the league is quite weak this year. I really do. I think it's quite a weak Premier League this year. Look, Arsenal deserve to be where they are. There's no doubt about it. But I said this earlier when someone asked me a question about what I think about the game yesterday. And I keep saying it with Arsenal. Arsenal got a very good 11, but they haven't got a squad. Right? And they're 11. I think Arsenal fans, even if they don't win the league, Arsenal fans should be happy where they are in a way. Because I look at their 11. I look at their 11, and their 11 is not Premier League winning 11. It just don't. And they are doing, I think they're playing above where they probably should be in the league. They are playing exceptionally well right now, but they put too much pressure on Martinelli and Saka to do the job all the time, and Odegaard. And I've been looking at Newcastle Arsenal in the last few games, and they lack a goal scorer. They lack a killer in front of goal. I think if they had a killer in front of goal and had this momentum that kept going, because momentum's massive in football. That's not a lie. You can have an okay side if you've got momentum behind you, where for some reason every game you just turn up, you win, and that momentum, like Leicester when they won the league title, and they just kept going and going and going, and no one could break him. You couldn't break them emotionally, physically, anything. Momentum brings you high in football, and if Arsenal had a goal scorer, I think Arsenal might have been won the league already. I really do. Because I think they were 7 points clear on the 1st of January, and now they're level on points. I know they've got a game in hand, but that's how quickly these points can be snapped up. And I say this because I saw, obviously when Arsenal lose a big game, it's very, Arsenal fans are very 50-50, ain't they? They're very emotional. I've never seen more emotional fans in my life. They're very, very emotional. You see it online. On Football Terrace yesterday with Gal and that Brendan fella, and It's just
We
like
gotta go.
it. Personally, I think Agal was right. I think Agal was right personally, but
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Of course,
I
of
mean,
course.
it's just like you didn't bottle anything. Do you know how hard it is to look? Do you know how hard it is to beat this Man City team to a title? It is so difficult. And as I keep saying, I think Arsenal have done so well to be on 51 points this time of the season when you
Mm,
look at their 11. Like I said about Eddie Nketiah, Eddie Nketiah is a good player for the short term. You know, Eddie
yeah,
Nketiah is that
he's a
forward
good
that,
squad player.
you know, if
He's a
you,
good squad player.
yeah, if you got him for if he has to play 5 games consecutively because your striker's out, he's good for that. But over a
Yeah,
longevity, you start to see the issue. You see there's a why
mm,
he's a squad player, not a first
yeah.
teamer, and that's coming. I look at it now and think I can't believe Arsenal never bought a striker in January. You know, with Jesus out and get that killer because sometimes you look at things like, oh, Eddie and Nketiah scored a couple of goals, like and maybe we don't need to touch anyone. And then you look
Mm,
at it and think, yeah, you got to look at things long term. You got to look at things. And then I looked at Arsenal's bench yesterday, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that bench ain't great. And you know, I'm not saying our bench was tremendous, but our bench against Everton was far better. And
yeah. Of course, we got
uh,
Jota,
uh,
Van
uh,
Dijk, Firmino.
yeah, it's a far better bench, and the players on the pitch weren't exactly dog turd themselves. You know what I mean? So it was. So I look at our squad and I think, and this is what upsets me: how Liverpool are where they are, G, right now in the league. Because I still look at our team. If we put our strongest 11 out, I still think
Mm.
City, Liverpool, and Chelsea have the 3 strongest 11s in the Premier League.
I think that is the old saying. You know, the game's not even played on paper, and I think that's probably where we're at the moment. Because I'm
Mm,
kind of like I'm with you and I'm not. I'm with you when you said about the league. It's like I agree and don't. I do think in some parts it is a little bit weaker because well, Liverpool are doing so shit. So inevitably, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna think it's a little bit weaker. Um, but I do think I think it's weaker, but I think teams have gotten a bit better as well. I do
yeah, of
think
course
that
they have. Yeah,
some
of course
teams
they
have
have.
like upped their level a little bit, like
It's a
just in a general like
50-50. It's
Fulham.
50-50,
Yeah,
ain't it?
like
It's 50
look, when I think of like Fulham, I think of them and I think, yeah, you shouldn't be seventh. Like even if you was 10th, I'd still be a bit shocked. But the fact that
Mm.
you are seventh, you've built a lot of momentum. Like in this, and as you said, momentum is key. It is so key. Like that will help you even if you have got an average team, as you said. So it's like, yeah, it's like I'm 50-50. Like I do think it is a little bit weaker in terms of it's almost like the big teams are not really performing, but the smaller teams, they're outperforming the big teams in terms of their own targets, like Brighton, Fulham, Brentford, you know, these kind of smaller teams, they're doing better than your Chelseas, your
Mm.
Liverpools, Tottenham in terms of just how they're performing, you know, this season. So Newcastle up there as well. Even I don't care, they've got all this money. When you look at their team, I don't look at Newcastle's team and automatically think, yeah, that's a top 4 team. I
Mm.
just about think it's a team who should finish like 7th, or do you know what I mean? So the fact that they're top 4 at the moment just shows you how well they've been doing this season. So yeah, man, it's a tricky one this season, man. Honestly, it is a tricky. Arsenal, listen, man, they don't need to worry. You said it there, right there. Like that's why I was kind of smiling on Monday, or not Monday, yesterday when they lost to City. Not just because they lost. I mean, I don't really care if they
Mm.
lose, but it's just more a case of now you understand what Liverpool fans were actually trying to explain to you. When it comes to Manchester City, it's a different animal. Like you've never faced anything like it. Like you don't know what it's like to be 7 points clear and Manchester City catch you. Like do you know how you feel after? Like, as you, they were 7. I'm sure they were even like 8 points clear at one stage. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, if they can just get a bigger cushion, oh, they're gonna win. You know, they're gonna run away with this league. Look at Man City now. Even with the game in hand, if Arsenal don't beat Villa and they lose, Jesus Christ, now it's just then I'm guaranteeing that Man City will go away and just win this league. Whereas now I'm still thinking Arsenal game in hand, win that 3 points in front. Still got to face City at the Etihad, I think. So it's like a catch-22. Liverpool, obviously being so poor, has helped. Has helped quite a few teams, I think, because no one would have foresaw that as well. Brighton outperforming. I think Brighton and Newcastle are the two teams who are outperforming everyone at the moment. Look at that, 6th and 4th.
They're just
Spurs are so
they're playing to a level that's higher than where they should be, ain't they?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And then I look at Spurs. I think Spurs are shit. Honestly, I actually think they're so shit. I'm surprised they're still 5th. I can see them tumbling down the field.
They got a massive game. They got West Ham, and they do not like each other. So that is going to be a I can't even say if they beat West Ham. No.
Wow, Brighton can actually go 5th. I just realised.
Yeah.
2 games in hand.
If we win on Saturday, we can actually go 6th. So it's like it's moving up slowly but surely. Points disappear like that in this league, don't they? They, nothing to give. Now Arsenal got a difficult match. Arsenal got to go away to Aston Villa on Saturday early afternoon kickoff at 12:30. That's not an easy match to come back after that loss to City at home, And look, Arsenal haven't won in 4 games now, so there is a little drop with everyone. But yeah, so back to the Liverpool Newcastle game. So I've just been looking at Newcastle. So I'm going to give you these players that are probably not going to play against us on Saturday and get your response to it. So Matt Taggart, he's going to be out. Almiron is going to be out, apparently. Willock is going to be out. Manquillo is going to be out. Kraft is going to be out. Callum Wilson is going to be out. And apparently so is St. Maximum.
Yeah, well, if there was ever a time to beat Newcastle, I think it's now then, to be honest with you.
Now, and
it's the Callum Wilson one I'm more like, okay, that's the one, him being out.
Yeah. And they're doubtful as well. So them being their class is doubtful. Kraft is not back till May. Manquillo's not back till late February. Willock here not early March. Taggart late February. So Almiron's got a wrist injury and he's doubtful. Callum Wilson's got a knock and he's doubtful. And St. Maximum's got a knee injury and it says a few days. So at the moment they're not available right now, so they're probably not training. With the game Saturday at 5:30 and Newcastle with a massive cup final. This is huge for Newcastle. Let's get this wrong. Let's not get this wrong. This is Man United in a final at Wembley, at the new Wembley. They've not played that yet. In a big domestic cup final. They haven't won a domestic cup since the 50s. This is huge. I think it's the 50s or 60s, something like that. It's massive. I was listening to True Geordie talk about it the other day. It's like I think he was saying his dad ain't even seen them win a trophy. So it's a madness. It's a madness. So with them out, what's your feelings now if they're out? Because I think with the ones that are doubtful or maybe could be available, does Eddie Howe not, does he wait for the cup final the week after how important it is to Newcastle and rest them for that? What's your feelings on it?
I feel like Almiron might be able, because it's only wrist, I could see him potentially playing. It's more the Wilson and St. Maximum. Those are the two that I'm thinking. All right, Wilson especially because he will give our backline trouble. He will definitely give that backline.
Yeah, he plays off the shoulder, don't he? Really well.
Yeah, I mean, players off shoulder, strong, quick. Like he can give that backline, whoever it is. To be honest, even Virgil, I think he can give him a bit of trouble. Newcastle are then going to have to set up in a different way. Does that then change them? If none of them play, I'll say we win. If one out of the 3 can play, I still think we win.
No Bruno either, is there?
Yeah, look, now is the best. If there was ever a time to beat them, it is going to be now. Yeah, where's Isak? Where the hell is that guy?
Oh, he ain't on the injury list. He must be available. Yeah, he scored in his debut against us, didn't he? He must be available because he's not on the injury list. So that I've got here.
Yeah, I think I still think it'll be. I think it'll be. Let's put it this way: if I was a betting man, and I don't condone betting, but if I was, then I would probably say you'd go Liverpool draw or win to Liverpool. To be honest, I think that's where I'll be looking at it because they're gonna have to put in a real Newcastle are gonna be very defensive, regardless of who they play anyway. They're just going to be very defensive in how they set up. It's just going to be about they just can't really score on the other end. So that's where we will probably get a bit more joy of having a lot more of the ball. So it'll just be what we can kind of do with it. So yeah, I think I'm still going to go with a draw, but I am leaning more towards a Liverpool win if things can go in our favour, to be honest with you.
Well, obviously Anthony Gordon probably might start for him as well.
Oh yeah, they got Anthony Gordon. Yeah.
It
Forgot about
it is a tough one for Eddie Howe because he's going to be looking at him thinking, St. Maximin and Callum Wilson, especially Callum Wilson, he has so many muscle injuries.
Mm.
For me, I think it'd be if he's got a knock and he's not training at the moment. I think if you're a manager, I think it's a risk playing him against us and him then not being available for the final against Man United. Can you imagine winning a cup for Newcastle?
Yeah, no, of
right
course.
now?
So
That's
it's
massive.
big,
That's
man.
it's huge. It's like when Leicester won the FA Cup. First, I think it was
Mm.
their first time in their history they won the FA Cup, I believe.
Mm.
Huge. I've had the Leicester City fan on here before. He said it felt as big as winning the Premier League because it was huge to them because they've never done it. And
Mm.
I think Newcastle might go with it. If there is no Bruno, there's no Callum Wilson, Almiron's a doubt, and then I'm looking at him thinking, maybe like. But
This is our time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think we're catching Newcastle at the right time. To be perfectly honest, we are catching Newcastle at the right time. Jamie and G, do you rate Isaac? Look, the Isaac thing, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't seen him play enough to rate him. I saw him little bits when he played for his former club and international football and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen him enough as a player to give him a proper rating. He looks like an athlete. I'll give him that. He looks like an athlete, which in this day and age, if you're an athlete, you usually go be a good footballer. So I can't really rate him at the moment because I ain't seen him enough. To be perfectly honest,
yes,
I could do him a disadvantage by underrating him when he's actually really good. So I don't think it's fair to rate him at the moment.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't have wanted Liverpool to have signed him for that price. Let's put it like that. So whether that means I rate him or don't, it's just I would have looked at that and thought, nah, man, not Isaac for 60 million, because I just didn't think he was that good. If that makes sense, like I feel like he's okay. I feel like Liverpool, you know what, Newcastle is the level. Like that is a perfect level for him, and I think that's his level. Whether he gets better, I have no idea. But yeah, I'm a bit like Jamie to rate him. I don't know, man. There's still question marks about him, to be honest with you. Like I don't trust him that, and I never have, to be honest with you.
There you go. Newcastle's last one, 1955. My mum wasn't born till 58, and she's in her 60s. That is a long time, man. She won't like me saying that, by the way, but big up my mum. But that is, can you imagine going that long without a trophy and you're in a big final domestic the following weekend? I wouldn't blame Newcastle players at all for having one eye off the game Saturday.
No, of course.
I really wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me at all. I'd love it to be the fact, then we can have an easy win. Jay, thoughts on Sven Botman? Yeah, he's been excellent.
Very good.
Very excellent. Probably one of the best defenders in the league this season. But again, I like what Eddie Howe does. It's actually 1969. There you go. That's it's not really getting any better.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't change my thinking of that's still bad anyway.
It's not getting any better. It's still let's put it this way. None of us have ever seen Newcastle win a trophy. So
yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's what I can legitimately say.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Oh no! What about the Intertoto Cup? Didn't they win that?
I can't remember. I know West Ham won it once. Do you remember? Because you could apply to go into it, couldn't you? If you missed that.
Yeah.
And I remember West Ham. Do you remember Harry Redknapp? He applied to go into it, and I think West Ham won the final. Got into Europe.
Jesus, can you have an Intertoto Cup? Oh, that's amazing.
What a shit way of getting into Europe. And the Fairs Play Trophy that Liverpool win every year.
Every year, Jesus.
I don't like the fact
they must get embarrassed going after that award.
I don't like the fact we win it every year. I want to be a shit ass of it. I want to be shit ass of a team.
I want to winning the bloody Fair Play Award. Jesus Christ.
I want 11 Robbos.
Nah, true. Yeah, if we had like maybe even like 3 or 4 more Robbos in the team, we definitely would have more cards in games, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Robbos and Darwins. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. If you had those in your team, bloody hell, you'd be getting cards every game.
Did you see when it kicked off with Robbo? I was cracking up. Robbo had me in stitches, especially Pickford. Pickford, the one who had the nerve to have to go at Robbo about time wasting of all the players.
Was
Pickford,
he? Oh, was he? I was thinking, why did he start?
he was holding the ball and then falling to the floor all the time. The time waste that time. Do you remember that?
Because he's a cunt. That's why. There's always going to be that kind of guy.
He's just an idiot. He's just an idiot. But yeah, Robbo laughed at him. I loved the fact. And then it all kicked off. And then from nowhere, do you see Darwin do his Vince McMahon strut up the pitch?
Darwin's one of those, like, you know, the naughty kid who, when there's trouble, like, he just has to be involved in some way.
Yeah,
he's always like
a punch over a crowd from nowhere.
From nowhere, yeah. He's that kind of guy. Like, and I'm just like, oh, sometimes just stay away, man, because I don't want you to get into trouble for something you didn't even start in the first place. You'll get the most blame.
Yeah, exactly. I just love the picture. There's a video online. He literally struts up like that to get involved. It's like, why? Why are you doing it?
So he just senses trouble. He loves it, man. Yeah, I can tell. He likes that.
I was worried about Darwin in the Merseyside derby, because I thought he might get a red card and they wind him up. But
so did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
He had a little bit of a go, didn't he? But yeah, not much. I thought Darwin played well.
I think we were able. I feel like in those kind of games, when the quality is so much so, obviously this isn't like, you know, back in the day kind of stuff, you know, when we had, you know, your Gerrards, you know, players who it really, really means something to Carragher and stuff like that. So maybe that edge has kind of gone. It's only, and even from Everton's standpoint, it's only really Seamus Coleman I can think of who's in that lineup anyway. I think if when you've got like that, and now you've got a lot of players in the team who this game doesn't mean as much to them, obviously, as it would say Trent, for example. Like to him, he's gonna go in a bit extra harder because he knows what it means to the fans and stuff like that, the people of Liverpool. But where we've got such a multicultural teams, both sides, I just feel like that essence has gone. I've not felt that for a little while. Yeah, we've had our Holgate, Firmino's, and little things like that we've had. But you know, I remember the Phil Nevilles on Gerrard's, like you know Gerrard's, Duncan Ferguson's, and David Unsworth's, and you know those kind of games. I remember those like heavily because it just meant something to players on both sides, and you could feel it in the crowd. I think the crowd, as much as they were so good, they also understood, you know, the team is in the mud right now. Club, we need to just give them as much as possible. Let's not give them too much ammunition, get red cards, and we start failing and stuff. No, let's just back them in this game, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Right, let's pick our team. Let's pick the team we think will play. I think the goalkeeper is the easiest thing here, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, unless he springs a surprise, which I can never see happening with that.
What do you think of Alisson's form at them? What do you think of Alisson's form right now? I feel like it's dipped a tad.
I do, but there's only so long a form can go on as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
When the team is that bad and you're every
it's going to
week,
affect him eventually, ain't it?
Yeah, eventually. Like that's why I'm not too worried. And maybe if I see like 2 or 3 games where I'm like, oh, Alisson, you're really, you know what I mean? Then I'll probably get a bit more worried. But for now, I'm just like, I don't expect him to go 38 games and just be immaculate. Like it couldn't happen, man. He's at some point he's going to be a bit like, guys, I'm facing this 10 shots a game stuff. Like, can we sort it out a little bit? I can't save everything.
Exactly. Yeah, because you know when Everton had a chance to score, I think it was Tom Davies at the back post.
Yeah, he hit it over the bar.
When I was doing the watch show, I know a lot of people like saying Trent locked off a little bit at the back post. I also said, what was Alisson doing? Because he sort of like was a bit undecisive as well. He sort of came out and then went back in and came out again. You know, and it was a bit. I was like, I don't know. Maybe he was just bored. Because he didn't have much.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. You could have just been bored. Been bored. You know.
Right. We're going to go front three first and work way back. I think that this is going to be interesting because we got Jota back, Bobby's back, we got Gakpo, who I think for the last 2 games has been quite impressive. He's got his goal against obviously Everton. Salah looked like old Salah against Everton. Salah I've been wanting to see for a while. And Darwin, look, I know how people feel about Darwin, but you and me, G, have been saying this for a while. At this moment in time, and the way we set up, he does look best suited to play out on the left.
Yep.
For the way we set up right now. You know, because I think eventually he will be that central striker for Liverpool. But Liverpool got to work away in understanding how he plays there, because the way we play 4-3-3, the number 9 is a false 9. They're not an up top 9. And
Yeah.
we play with selfish wingers.
Mhm.
We don't play with unselfish, creative wingers. We play with selfish wingers. Salah is a selfish winger. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's how he gets his goals, man. Mane was a selfish winger. Yeah, he sometimes found people with his assists, and so does Salah. But they're not the creative wingers of the past. They're inside forwards, and because of that, I
Yeah.
don't think it suits Darwin's game. Being his
Yeah.
back to
Same.
goal, I don't think he's great with his back to goal and linking the play. Which at the moment, the way we play 4-3-3, Gakpo is very good at that. I have to give him credit. I've been saying it for a while. I think me and you spoke about this weeks and weeks ago now with Gakpo when we first got him in on 1st of Jan, and we saw his first game. It's like I see him as a central attacker. The way he plays, the way he gets deep, he's got very good close control. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's good at his back to goal and turning and running from deep and creating chances. And because of that, Darwin and Salah become the Salah and Mane of years back, where they start wide, but they then turn into inside forwards, where they're wide strikers. And that's why Salah, I think, again on Monday, was the Salah we know, because he was basically working within that 18-yard box. He weren't all the way out on the touchline. Don't know how you feel about that, Drew.
No, I agree. Yeah, in that game especially, I think Gakpo's he's a weird one, man. Honestly, he's a weird player. I think for Klopp's gonna have to, obviously for this game, if we're just talking specifically for this game, I think he's gonna go the same front three. Nunes on the left, Gakpo down the middle, and Salah on the right. But in a general sense, Gakpo, future-wise, I don't know, man. I feel like he can't do the Bobby role. Like that role is so unique that Klopp would have to kind of expect different qualities. Like Gakpo can't press. Like it just doesn't work with him. But he's good at dropping deep. As you say, he's good at running with the ball.
He's a connector, ain't he?
Yeah, he can do that kind of stuff.
Could he play number 10? Could he play a number 10 in the future?
Yeah. So he would be probably best served if you are going to play him in the middle in the part and you're going to have Nunes out wide. Then you'd have to have like a real 9 up top. Like you could have Jota there, to be fair, if you want to.
Also, if he wants to play Darwin through that number 9 position eventually, which I think he probably will, Gakpo in a 10 would help that.
Yeah,
because Gakpo could be like the connector and the feeder at the same time, and then maybe that's the way forward. Because at this moment in time, I'm confused because I understand what he's doing right now, because right now we are where we are. And he needs to find a way of getting us back to where we need to be this season and finishing strong. And if it works that, he's found a thing and he's just fallen on it by mistake, that Gakpo's good at this number 9 position right now. Darwin's good out on the left and Salah. Why would you move from that right now and do something that don't make total sense? Go back to what you know. Klopp knows 4-3-3 with a false number 9. Right? That's what Klopp knows for Liverpool. The Liverpool team know how that works as well. Robbo and Trent know if they got a false 9, they know what to do when they're crossing angles. It helps the midfield out because they know, right, we're just going back to like Gakpo's now Bobby. And we know how this works. So just go back to what worked. Don't go away from, if it was it completely broken playing that way before? Probably not. But we went away from that slightly and transitioned into a different team as the season kicked on. And as the season kept moving on, we were transitioning to a team that I think didn't make sense, and we're playing a way that we didn't play like this last season when we went for a quadruple. What are we doing? This don't make sense. Why have we gone? Was it broken? Was it that broke that we've had to go away from it, or was it not broken and we just needed to get players that improved their positions and keep going? So that's why I was confused over Liverpool's transfer window this summer and January. Because look, Liverpool did have money. They spent we spent over £100 million this summer, or close to £100 million this summer. We could if we spend that in the right areas, we might be a different team. It might be 100%. Players we could have got in different areas for that money, and we might be a different team right now. But what we got right now, Darwin, Gakpo, and Salah, it worked against Everton. Gakpo, I think, has had 2 decent games now in that number 9 area. We've seen a bit about him now. He's a lot quicker than I thought. I'll give him credit for that. I didn't realise he was that quick. He's got a massive stride on him. I mean, did you
Yeah,
see
he's a
when?
tall kind of guy. He's tall.
Yeah,
Isn't
you
he?
see
Yeah.
our first goal. You see our first goal that Salah scored, but you see how quick Gakpo was as well, getting up the pitch.
Yeah. No, he's.
Man's
You know what it
lightning.
is. I think what we're looking at is when you see like Gakpo's, when you're looking at someone like a Gakpo, when you think about what Liverpool, especially, and just really around the world, when you're thinking about like wingers and stuff like that, Gakpo quick, but he ain't winger. He's not Nunes quick. He's not Salah quick. He's not Mane quick. Like, and I think that's what we're so used to on the wings anyway, as someone who's just lightning quick. Like he hasn't. I don't feel like he's a lightning quick player. I feel like over yardage he will burn people in that kind of case. But if you're talking about guys who Mane is a player who stops that like stop start kind of guy. You know, it doesn't matter. He just got the legs to burn. Salah again, he could do the kind of the same thing as well. Seems to just get past. Nunes, we know Nunes is absolutely rapid. Like I think we're so used to that. When we see Gakpo, I look at him and I think, yeah, it's like you're not slow. It's like you're such a weird. Like, you're literally in the middle. Like you're not slow. You're definitely not even remotely slow. You're just not what I'm used to on the wings, where maybe it's just because you're not good at stop starts. Like he seems like he's very slow at like 5 yard bursts. He can't seem to do that, to be honest with you. So yeah, it is a bit of a weird one. I don't agree with what Albert said there because I do not want to see Fabinho or Hendo in the midfield anymore. I can't have that, man. I think that can work against Everton at home. Everton are shit. I can't see it again. I think we need to. One thing my friend was telling me after the game was what Klopp needs to stop doing is, yes, when you've won a game, you think that that's the formation and team and blah blah blah. Every opponent is different. You cannot go into each game especially because of the situation we're in now. You can't go into each game thinking that that's the team that can just go into the next game and do the same thing, because you're not always going to get the same result. And I feel like it's even unlikely that you'll get the same result, because if that's the case, that means we're all admitting here Fabinho and Henderson should just keep playing. That's what we're all admitting, that they should just keep playing in the team. When Thiago comes back, forget it. Keep Fabinho and Hendo in the team. But then we all want Fabinho and Hendo out of the team. So that's why I don't agree with having those. And Van Dijk, I think, would come back in anyway. I think.
Yeah,
if he's fit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he does come back to his team. So let's go to the midfield then. So Stephane's DM.
Yeah. So I trust him now. I didn't trust him before, but now I trust him.
Who plays alongside him? Because I know you said about Hendo there. The one thing I will say about Hendo, I said this on Jerry on show yesterday with you guys. When Liverpool usually play well, Hendo's playing like when Hendo plays well, Liverpool usually play well. There's something about the way he presses in the midfield, on and off the ball, the energy he brings and the tempo he plays at, that sort of lifts everyone around him is in the team. No, they see Hendo pressing, their press sort of thing. And he has that leadership about him. And I think Klopp made mention of it after the game as well, is that when Liverpool play well, Hendo plays well, Liverpool play well. Now, I'd probably have Hendo in for this game.
But then are you dropping him from Madrid or are you playing him?
I'd have him for this game at Madrid, and then I'd give him 10 days or 2 weeks off after that. What do you want? I'd have him in for Madrid, this game coming up, and Madrid. And then after that, I'd probably have 2-week rest. You know, go, right, Hendo, you've had these games now, have a 2-week rest, you know, and then come back. I think that's how Hendo should be used. Play a few games. At your full pace you can play at, the press you can play at, the intensity you can play at, then have a break and then come back again. Because what we do, I think what Klopp does sometimes, he sees Hendo play for a few games and then
burns him out.
He sees what he wants and he's like, oh, Hendo's playing really well. And then all of a sudden he goes, you know what? I'm going to keep him in the team. And then he gets burnt out. And I think he needs to drop him at a certain point and then bring him back again. That makes sense. Let me just get rid of the kids. And you have to talk about that. I'm going to get rid of them.
Yeah. I think I hate what Jamie's saying, to be honest. I probably would actually bring in Elliot into this game. I think we could utilize Elliot and Bajcetic in the midfield for this game. Maybe you could have Hendo as well. Because I do agree, to be honest with you, with Jamie, where he's talking about having Hendo for a few games and then you're back. Having Hendo for a few games and then dropping him out. I wouldn't have him against Madrid. I don't think that's a game where I would want him not playing, especially. So maybe I would play him in this game then, because I just think that. Well, actually, no. The first leg's at Anfield, so maybe I would actually play him in that game. Maybe I would, but I think I would have Elliot in this game, though. To be fair, I would play Elliot. I just can't. I just don't trust Fabinho, man. I just Fabinho and Henderson. Just for me, you can't keep playing them. And I think you can do it in the one-off. So that game playing against Everton, cool. And then maybe Henderson could play this game. Maybe you bring in Fabinho for the next game. Maybe, but Keita maybe again. Because of the whole situation.
Do you start against Newcastle with Stefan and Elliot in midfield? That'd be an issue for me.
I feel like having Elliot and Keita are like the same thing. I feel like they're kind of the same player.
Yeah,
almost.
That's true.
But I don't even feel like it. If you've got Hendo in there, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. I think the way that Elliot is, Well, no, this was
he's got to play the same midfield.
Yeah, no, and this is what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, it could work. I'm not saying it can't work.
I think he's got to play that.
He probably will.
I think it'll be the same midfield. I think the Thiago missing's an issue. I think if Thiago's available, I think Fabinho might not play. I think Fabinho's playing because Thiago's not available. And that's why Stefan's playing the Thiago role. He's on the left of the three in the Thiago position. So if Thiago's available, I think Stefan will be the 6, Henderson and Thiago will be the midfield. But I don't think he trusts Keita. Keita plays a few games, looks quite decent, and then you don't see him again. And I just don't see him bringing him back for this game. So
I agree. I don't. I think it's going to be between Fabinho and Elliot. I feel like Henderson probably will play. Badic obviously definitely going to play.
It's gotta be I think it'll be a late call. Yeah, it'll be a late call. He's probably tossing that up in his mind now. Because I said it earlier with Fab. People said, get legs around Fab and he's a different player. And like I said to you yesterday, I don't want that as our DM.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't want my DM. I don't want my DM to only be good if you got legs around him. I don't want that. I want my DM to have legs. That makes sense, I don't need.
It doesn't make sense that he has to have legs. Like, you are supposed to be the legs. Like, if you need legs around you, that's a problem in itself. But I can definitely see him going with that same front 6. I can 100% see that anyway. Yeah, I can't even disagree with him.
That'll be the 6 there. Right. Is Virgil coming straight back in? Never came on the sub against Everton, but do you reckon he comes straight back in?
I don't know how fit he is. Like, I've not heard anything. Like, is he?
I was shocked he never came on.
But that's Everton. Good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I was surprised
you need him for the Madrid game.
Because every other injured player who came on.
So you're thinking that maybe he's a bit more injured than the rest?
Is he? And I think Klopp said that Virgil wouldn't be ready for Monday, like a few days before, but then he was on the bench. I mean, I'm not sure.
Maybe that was just like an emergency.
Yeah, I'm not totally shocked. I think Robbo starts. Robbo's best performance against.
Yeah, Robbo and Trent are the 2 given.
I think we need to start praising Trent a little bit more.
Yeah, I think
you can tell he's worked on his defensive side of his game.
Yeah, I said this the other day. I said, what you're seeing now is going forward. For the rest of the season, I'm assuming Trent's not going to be what we know, in my opinion. I think you'll see it in bursts. Obviously, got his assist the other day. But overall, this Trent that I'm watching is not the Trent that I know. Like, I've seen a way better Trent going forward anyway, especially defensively, though. You can tell, he's blatantly worked on something because I do think, though, Klopp has said to him, we don't want you are given too much of a free roll down that right hand side, and it's now hurting us too much. So we need you to kind of just drop off a few yards, go forward every now and again, like he did for his assist. Go forward every now and again. I'm not saying never go forward, but you can do equal damage sitting where he is now, for example, and play that ball to Darwin Núñez and release him, or play the ball over the top for Salah. You can still do that now because you saw in the game against Everton, we didn't play football in the midfield. The midfield didn't get to play. Like every now and again, yeah, if Everton lost the ball, but when we had the ball, we didn't really like giving it to the midfielders. So I felt like we always hit it long, hit it long, hit it long. Darwin, Salah, just run. And that's what we were trying to do the most. So I think in this kind of game, probably do the same thing. Just hit it long. Salah, Nunez, quick enough to get on the end of it. And then you just kind of, motor from there, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Right, I'm going to go this centre-back partnership because I think I'm going to give Gomez a bit of credit. I think he's done well the last couple of games, not being the worst. Out of him and Matip at the moment, I think Gomez is the better player right now. So I think you've got to give him.
Funny.
If you're going to keep him in the team, if you're going to keep any of them in the team for Virgil coming back, I would go probably Gomez and Virgil right now. Matip, you got to go with players whose form's better. You can't, it doesn't matter if you think Matip's a better defender than Gomez, but if Matip's form is not as good, why should he deserve to keep his place?
Yeah, I agree.
So Gomez, Virgil. That's the team for Newcastle in. So Alisson, Robbo, Virgil, Gomez, Trent, Stefan, Fabinho, Hendo, Darwin, Gakpo, Salah. Scores, guys. Before we finish up here, score, G. What do you reckon?
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool.
If it's not a draw, I think we'll win it. We'll nick it 2-1.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we'll win this game as well. I've got a feeling we'll go win this game. I'm going to go 2-1 with you as well. I think Liverpool might go off to a fast start. I think Newcastle might sit back and survey how Liverpool go play for a while after Liverpool won that Merseyside derby. I think they're just going to sit back and survey it for a while. But I think that might be the benefit of Liverpool, where I think Liverpool might come out really fast and try and go at Newcastle, keep that momentum from Everton going. One thing I will say is our away form is shocking, though. That is one thing we've got to put in the thing. Our away form is shite. One thing I was going to say away from home, should we just play counter-attacking football away from home? Because if you look at our players there, Darwin, Gakpo, Salah, Trent, Robbo, Henderson, they're all counter-attacking players.
Yeah.
They're all counter-attacking players. Look at the goal against Everton. 15 seconds from Tchaikovsky hitting the post, we score. Vintage. That's old school Liverpool. That is old school under Klopp. Why don't we go back to that? Why don't we let Newcastle have the possession? We sit back a little bit. Tell Darwin, Gakpo and Salah, stay up top. Gakpo may be the one to drop back into midfield a little bit to help out. You two stay on the halfway line. Any balls over, we're putting behind.
I think you can do that a lot more when you've got Virgil and Gomez because they're quick. So you don't have to worry.
So you can push up a little bit as well. Yeah,
you can push up a bit. And also, when you don't have Thiago, remember Thiago's the ball hogger. Because he likes being on the ball. He's probably the best midfielder. Well, he is the best midfielder we have who's good.
You can't play counter-attack with Thiago. That's the thing. You miss out.
Yeah,
and Thiago does. Yeah.
That's why I think it's probably better. So, but these are the kind of things that I talk about with Klopp is understanding what you have and just utilizing that. So if you have got these counter-attacking players, just play it like that way then, because that will be the best way for us. Just as you say, we're at this present moment in time. We need to just play that gets us wins. As long as you get the wins, then you're good. We move on, and then we can worry about the football at the end of the season, kind of thing, when we've sorted that out. So if he's got these counter-attacking players, play that way, because I think then Liverpool benefit a lot more in the long run anyway, as opposed to trying this possession / semi-press / no, just do what works for the team. And I think we can nick a win. 5:30 as well.
Yeah, right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. G, thank you very much for joining me as always. Guys, don't forget to go and subscribe to GTV. Go and get his subscribes up to 300. Where are you now? 2-something?
272.
272, guys. So we need to get him with 300. So go to GTV and subscribe to him, my man. Good friend of the show. Good friend of the channel. G, thank you very much as always. Appreciate it.
So good.
Everyone in the chat, thank you very much. And we'll chat tomorrow. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Peace.